Heute fahren wir nach San Diego. Moin, ich bin Ofe von T&T Tesla und das ist
Ani.
Hallo Ani. Heute wollen wir Ben Sullins besuchen von Teslanomics, den kennt ihr vielleicht. Das ist ein sehr interessanter Kanal, der sich viel mit Tesla und auch vielen anderen Sachen beschäftigt. Und da wir ja hier ständig auf der Suche nach US-Klassikern sind, nach Oldtimern und alten Autos, haben wir gedacht, verbinden wir das einfach mal und besuchen den Ben. Und werden ein Interview führen. Good morning. This is Ovi from T&T Tesla, and this is
Ben Sullins from Teslanomics.
Most of you know him, and now in German. Die meisten von euch kennen den. Das ist der Ben von Teslanomics, und wir werden jetzt in Englisch sprechen. Ihr könnt ja sowieso alle Englisch, und wenn nicht, müsst ihr euch irgendwie einen Weg finden, das zu erklären. Und wir haben noch jemanden bei uns. Das ist meine Frau Ani. Hi.
Hi.
Und wir haben hier ein bisschen was vorbereitet. Wir sind natürlich alle aufgeregt, so we are excited to meet you. And I have some questions here. I wrote them down, Ani wrote them down, and I will ask you now a lot of stuff.
Okay.
What I want to know, and I think a lot of from my German followers want to know. So how old are you?
37.
37. So he's a young guy, and I get 50 this year, you know this, and I'm... So it's okay.
Congratulations. 50 is a good, number to hit.
Yeah, I look younger, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, the beard doesn't help though.
We can be brothers.
Maybe shave this.
Yeah, no, maybe. The problem is more this way here. But, okay, anyway. So, first question. What is your profession? What did you learn? What did you make the most money for living?
Well, now I'm a full-time YouTuber.
Yes.
Prior to that, I was a data scientist, working in tech primarily.
Yes.
I worked at a lot of big companies in Silicon Valley, and prior to that, different smaller companies in more of a consulting role.
Okay.
So I've been working with data since around 1998.
Okay.
So 20 years.
And now you're a full-time YouTuber. That was my next question.
Full-time YouTube, yeah. Most of our income doesn't come from YouTube right now. Pretty much all the money I make on YouTube goes back into it to grow. It's expensive, as you know.
Yes.
Things cost money. So for me, we still have these data science online courses. Those generate the most of our income. But yeah, the YouTube stuff is growing, and I hope to continue growing it.
Growing, and it takes a lot of time, right?
Time and money, yeah. I have a couple people now that are helping me with editing and graphics and stuff like that. So
yeah, we have to do a lot of stuff on our channel too. So we're just beginning with 31,000 subscribers. So that's what's one of my questions: how much time it takes? It takes a lot of time, and you have German fans. We
just learned.
Yeah, we checked it out on his YouTube channel, where all subscribers, the people who make the channel, you can see on analytics how many people are from there, and you have 3.9% from Germany?
I think so, yeah. Maybe 3.6. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, but a lot. That's
almost
a lot.
4%. So of 115,000 people, it's a good number, yeah.
And I checked your channel yesterday on Social Blade, and you get 360 subscribers a day.
Is that? No, that can't be right.
Yeah, it must be.
I think it's almost 200.
200?
It varies. Some days it can be really high. I think on average around 200.
Yeah, on average is our channel 35 a day. So we are growing. It doesn't matter.
Step by step.
Why Tesla?
In 2014 or 15, I started working at a company called Pluralsight. They make online courses for software engineering, and I was hired there as the chief data officer to help grow. We were a very small company at the time, and our founder, Aaron Sconard, had a Tesla, and he loved him, obviously. And our company car that he bought for when people like me were traveling, because they were in Utah, was a Model S60.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be cheaper to buy a Tesla for the company and just let people use it when they were in town, rather than renting a car every single time.
Right.
And so I would go there at least once a month, sometimes twice, maybe 2 weeks out of the month, and I drove a Tesla.
Yeah.
And so I just fell in love with it. And then in January of 2016, I found a used one online. I was looking for an electric car, and I found a used one, and I ended up buying that for just a little bit more than a Nissan Leaf. So, I mean, a Nissan Leaf to a Tesla are completely different.
Oh, yes.
And the price was pretty similar, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. I always ask the people, why is it Tesla? Because the people want to know why you have a Tesla, why I have a Tesla, why maybe Arnie has a Tesla. There comes a movie in the next weeks. I ask you again. Look at my beautiful wife again. That's yes. Okay, that's a good explanation. So, satisfied with the quality. Are you satisfied with the quality from the Tesla? Did you drive other cars like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Chevrolet?
You know, I was never really a big fan of expensive cars.
Yes.
Prior to my Tesla, I had a 15-year-old Toyota Tacoma truck.
Oh, yeah.
A small kind of truck. I would, I still have it. I go surfing on, I go down to Mexico in the desert. I use it. It's fantastic. Right?
One of our next questions, you still have a nice car?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, because for a home, hauling stuff or these surf trips, specifically more for Mexico, because we go down a lot and the roads are just crazy sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And with our Teslas, I have no fear of taking them there, but I would get stuck on a big speed bump or something. It just wouldn't work physically.
Yes.
So, so that's kind of the thinking behind that. Plus, I mean, I bought it just cash. I don't know, like 7 years ago or something. So it's why not?
Tacoma's a nice truck.
Yeah,
I love it. They're reliable. They have no problems. They're not too big.
Right. It's small. It just passed 200,000 miles. So what is that? 480,000 kilometers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, and it still runs fine. So why not?
Well, it's the same with us. So I'm a normal petrol head. So that's why I'm dealing American classic cars and maybe some big Dodge Ram and that stuff. So I'm not the guy, the economist guy who said it must be electric. So I accept everything. If it's good for you and it fits, it's okay.
I think too that it is actually helpful to not just throw something away because you want something new and shiny, right? If it still works, it's still perfectly fine. It maybe isn't the best for the environment, but it's probably better that I keep it and use it and maintain it rather than throwing it in a dump.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So I think that there's kind of a reason there.
The same view I have. Yeah. So what do you think about another electric vehicles, like maybe the Audi e-tron, the Mercedes EQC, the I-Pace from Jaguar, Nissan Leaf?
Do you know them?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure. So I did a video on this, and the I-Pace I feel good about. I feel like Jaguar really is trying, and that's a good. I haven't actually got to drive one yet, but that'll change. I feel like Rivian is really exciting.
Oh yeah, that's a big pickup truck, and there's also an SUV coming.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos kicks Elon Musk's ass because he gets the money in it, right?
$700 million.
Right.
Yeah. So, which for them is not much.
No, it's not.
But so I'm excited about those. Everyone else, I think, is not really trying. I feel bad because all the German brands, Audi, Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, BMW, they have this great heritage of making amazing vehicles.
Yes.
Undoubted, right? I mean, Mercedes or Daimler invented the car, right? They have this heritage, hundreds of years old, that they have to protect. And so I understand why they haven't said, that's it, we're going all electric. Because there is so much history. But I feel like all of the options they have presented are substandard. They don't, like, all the EQC, what is the Audi one? The e-tron. And maybe the VW ones kind of are different. But even the BMW Vision or something, whatever it's called, they compete with my 2013-year-old Tesla.
Right.
They're competing with either a Nissan Leaf or a 6-year-old Tesla. that does not sound like Mercedes, BMW. It does. To me, I can't imagine all of them sitting in a room.
Yes.
You know, head of Mercedes, everyone saying, "Okay, let's see the specs on this," and they come out with the specs, 200 miles of range, and you go. As an electric car person, I'm going, no, you have to be better than Tesla.
Right.
You must be better than Tesla.
They don't want it.
That's what I'm saying.
They
so
try to avoid it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a I don't have the best feeling about those companies and their efforts. I think that they're not really trying as hard as they could.
Right.
Jaguar, though, is again the exception because their car does appear to be very exceptional.
I drove it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I would buy it, but at least it is a good option.
The problem is that they don't have the supercharger network in the world. That's the problem with Jaguar. And the other problem is if you charge this AC, it's only 3.7 kilowatts. That's nothing. Maybe it's now 7.4. But
I'm actually very excited, and I do hope that Volkswagen makes because they've already announced these, the Golf
ID.
Yeah, right. I actually really am looking forward to those.
Yeah, we all do.
I could see now if they price it like a Volkswagen,
yes,
it would be cheap,
yes,
and that I think would be great for the electric car market. But like the Audi versions, which is also Volkswagen, right, and all those, I'm looking at them going, I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure it's an Audi. I'm sure the quality is amazing. But you on the technology side, the batteries and those things, they're not there yet.
They're getting Chinese batteries. That's they made a new contract with Samsung, LG, and
LG Chem,
and Kettle. And they want to build in Erfurt, Eastern German town. They want to make a big company. Chinese people build it. Yeah. Not the Germans.
Yeah. So I hope that this is maybe the start of those companies really making electric cars, kind of in what we'd say in earnest, right, in their full effort. But right now I'm a little short on it. I just don't, you know.
Yeah, the shame is they have the potential.
Right.
They don't use it.
Could you actually imagine being in Mercedes, sitting in a meeting with the executive team and saying, okay, so how does this compare to a Tesla? And just being like, just being,
and they know it,
right? But that to me, why do it? You know, if you're Mercedes, you should come out with the biggest, best,
longest range, best quality. They have the money for it.
Yeah, Tesla should see what they do and be afraid and have to step up their game. Right. Instead, I'm sure Tesla sees it and goes, whatever.
We don't care.
We're just going to keep doing what we do.
Running,
I was sad by those efforts, but in general, it's exciting to see more and more cars.
I see Porsche as the only company who can make the step.
Yeah, the Taycan. Yeah, that looks fun. I want to drive one of those for sure.
Yeah, everybody wants. Yeah.
And is that Volkswagen also? Isn't that
they belong together. Yeah.
Yeah, because they own Volkswagen owns like a bunch of different companies. Yeah.
Volkswagen, Porsche, and Audi is one company.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not sure right now.
And then BMW is separate, and
BMW
Mercedes is separate.
Right.
Got it.
Okay. Next question: where do you see Tesla in 2030?
2030.
Yeah. 11 years.
That's. You know, I have this idea. So we actually have a company here in San Diego called Qualcomm, and you may not remember them, but Qualcomm used to make cell phones. And now, all Qualcomm does is make the parts for cell phones. Yeah. Every iPhone in the world, almost every Android phone in the world, has a piece of a Qualcomm part in it.
Okay.
And that company is based here in San Diego. Now, I could see Tesla following a similar path, where right now we know Tesla as making these amazing cars. But in 11 years, they could just be making parts for other companies.
Okay.
So I could, imagine they make the most batteries in the world.
Yes.
Right? They make
most effective.
Yeah, the best batteries, the powertrains, all these kind of things. I could very well see Chinese companies like BYD or some of these other ones, or NIO is another one. Yeah. The problem is Mercedes could never come. Well, they did in the past, but but now they see them more as a competitor. But imagine if BMW, Mercedes, everyone else, Volkswagen came to Tesla and said, "Hey, we know how to make cars. You know how to make batteries.
Yeah.
Why don't we just call a truce? We'll make the cars, we'll design them, they'll be beautiful, the quality will be superb, but you make us all the batteries.
And the engines, maybe.
And the powertrains, kind of the skateboard, and then we make the car.
Right.
I could see Tesla evolving to do that.
Great idea. I never thought about that. That's really a really good idea, and I can see that too. Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, because to compete, even now, you know, we may think of Tesla as a leader in this space, and they clearly are in electric cars. But overall, electric cars are something like less than 2% of the worldwide market. So, you know, and it's going to be that way. I think Elon said it. If you stopped selling gas cars today, it would still be like 15 years before electric cars were the majority.
Right.
So they have a long way to go. And even with 3-4 gigafactories, it's still nothing on the scale of Volkswagen, right, or Toyota.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla starts to sell more batteries to other car companies. Maybe Toyota would be a good option because, I mean, they've been very against electric cars, but I think China is going to force them to sell electric cars.
I saw in the television, or no, was in the internet, that NIO says, for us it's a great opportunity right now because to build an electric car is way easier than to build a gearbox or a transmission or an engine. That was the big thing from the Germans, what we are very good in.
Right.
And an electric car is easy. It's some batteries, it's an engine, and put a house on it. Okay, let's go.
And Tesla gave you the technology. So you just use their technology, and there you go.
Yeah, I think the future comes with electric cars and cheap, payable electric cars from China.
Now, in 11 years, an interesting question is, will we... Now, we is a big term, but maybe in the United States it won't change that often, but maybe in... maybe more in Europe because it's more urban areas, right? There, I mean, there's country, but there's a lot of like big cities. Maybe you don't own a car and you just have an app. You hit a button and it comes to you.
Yeah,
we have it already, right, with Uber and Lyft and everything else. But maybe at that time, Tesla has the self-driving autonomous fleet.
Right.
And so, yeah, I have a Tesla. I have 100 of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not I own one.
Yes.
You know, because maybe that culture starts to change.
It does, because we have 2 boys, 21 and 19 right now, and they don't have much interest in cars. And I see all their friends, they don't have interest in cars too. So I think you have a little boy. How old is he?
3.5.
Okay, he don't talk about cars.
Right, and now he does actually. It's funny. Yeah, but I don't know if he will ever have to drive.
Right, and the people don't want to own it. If they want to use it, they get it. They get a phone call. They have an app. I need a car tomorrow at 10 from 10 to 2. And I take 100 miles. What does it cost? 20 bucks? Okay, get it.
Yeah.
At least your son is the first generation who's growing up with electric cars. So he's used to it. Our son, they grown up with
gas cars.
Gas cars. So yeah, that's different. So, that changed.
Right. And so the generational shifts are very interesting because, for example, I think my generation was the last one to grow up without the internet. Right? The next generation after me...
We can do analog and digital.
Yeah.
That's my sons, they do only digital.
Correct.
And we can do both.
Right.
But it's over now.
Right.
My parents only can do analog.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So that's just the technology shift.
Yes.
Now we're seeing that bleed into transportation. And it's a very interesting thing whether or not the model of owning a car will sustain. I think it will, because this completely shared space or shared resources only seems to work in places like New York City or maybe Paris or Berlin or somewhere that's very packed with a lot of people. Yeah. Right, where it just doesn't make sense to own these things. You know, I have a lot of friends in New York City. None of them own cars. Yeah. They come out here. They have to take an Uber because they don't even really know how to drive. Right? They've just never driven.
No driver's license.
Yeah, they do. Okay. But they just they take
need it.
They take the subway. They take taxis. They take Uber.
This is the same way where it goes right now in Europe. It's the same way. And when I get back to when I was 18. on that day when I got 18, the most important thing for me was get my own car.
Yeah, right.
And if I see now the young people, they don't need it.
They don't care, yeah.
No.
My neighbor has a sister. She's 21 years old. And she just barely got her license at 20, I think.
Yeah.
Just barely, and you can get it here at 16.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's easy to get it here. If you want to do a driver's license in Germany, it costs you 2,500 euro.
Wow.
And it takes 35 lessons, and you have to do a very hard improvement on it.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And that's why you can drive in Germany with unlimited speed, because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we have the same opinion, what you also see, so it's really interesting to see it because he's such a young boy. So this is a more funny question. What is your favorite Tesla YouTuber in the US or whatever, maybe in the world?
Well, you asked me earlier, or we talked about it earlier, I don't actually watch Tesla channels, primarily because I don't want to kind of steal an idea. I don't want to see another video and say, I need to do that.
Yes.
I want to have whatever video I make to be my original thought. Someone else probably has already done it. That's just how the world is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see something and say, oh, I can't do that now, or I need to do that better.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So I don't really watch hardly any of them, with the exception of Kim from Like Tesla.
Yeah.
Just because we're such good friends, and I'm not going to be making a family vlog. So yeah, maybe put Kim from Like Tesla there.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know a European Tesla YouTuber except me now?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
right.
never heard from me before, I know.
Well, my friend Saul Lopez, who European. He's from Spain, but lives in Paris. So he's French, but his channel's in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, you should go check him out. So me and him have hung out a couple times, a Model 3 event here in San Francisco. And then I'm hoping to go visit him. Every year I say, I'm going to come stay a month in Spain. Let's hang out.
Nice.
And it just, family and stuff, it doesn't work. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Except you have a small boy right now, 3.5 years old.
That's right.
Yes. I can't read it, Arnie. Oh yeah, this is the pre-justice question we have. So do you have the same pre-justice in your country with electric cars? Like I will strand somewhere. I will never get to my goal where I want to go. Where can I charge it? Is it the same here?
Yeah. America, United States, I hate when people say America because that means all of America, but the United States is a very large country with a lot of people. So it's hard to say whether or not that exists generally. I can say in California where I live, people are very excited about electric cars. It's a lot of people ask questions. Still people think Teslas take gas. Things like that. They don't understand that it doesn't have, that it's battery only. Yeah. So there's a lot of misunderstanding. But out here in California, I would say more excitement and interest than possibly other parts. Certainly parts of the country hate electric cars for whatever reason.
Texas maybe?
I don't know. You'd be surprised. I mean, in Texas, for example, oil and gas, very popular, very big cowboy country. But they are one of the biggest wind energy producers in the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wind energy, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's a very big place, right? What do we say? The size of Germany, right? And they have a ton of wind that comes through these planes.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And so there's some guys that were big oil and gas people that now are big wind people. Smart. Because, they're not dumb. Yeah. They didn't become billionaires from being dumb. Right. So I think, I mean, Texas is another good example because Texas is also a very big place. And somewhere like Austin has a very different mindset than, say, Dallas or, Houston or something. So, so it's hard to say if something like that exists generally. But certainly there are pockets,
Yeah, Yeah, we saw some solar panel places on the way here from Phoenix to here. On the right side was it, and on the left side too, and some wind energy parks too.
Yeah.
So it's growing here, right?
Yeah. So in between Phoenix and San Diego, we have these mountain ranges, and we have certain times of years a thing called the Santa Ana wind.
Yeah.
And so wind actually gets pushed from the mountains down through those valleys and those canyons. So there's a lot of wind. I don't know if you felt it driving, but sometimes you can feel it push you, you know, around. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And
cool.
You know.
What do you think about the Model Y? When does it come? On the next event?
Hopefully, I'm hoping in March.
In March.
March.
So I have to come back.
Yeah. Hopefully soon. I've heard other people say possibly June, and at the same time we would see the pickup truck. I don't know.
I think the same. The pickup truck will be the surprise, and all people think about this is the Model Y event.
Yeah.
And then he comes out with the pickup truck. That's what I think.
Yeah, you know that could possibly, that very could happen. But I think also you might have imagine if you did the Model Y and Model 3 at the same time. That'd be a bad idea because people are going to buy like a lot of the same people that would buy one might also buy the other one.
Right.
So if you did both at the same time, you're gonna dilute it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if you do the truck, and it's a big, heavy-duty monster truck,
like the Raven or the F-150,
bigger than that. I mean, these things, what they've talked about, the specs are
F-650 maybe.
No, like an F-350.
F-350. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, if you come out with this monster truck, and you come out with this small crossover SUV, the people buying these are not going to be the same people. Right. So that might work. But I don't think we've ever seen them. Well, okay, I guess they unveiled the Semi and the Roadster at the same time, but again, completely different buyers, right?
That's the next theme, the Roadster.
Yeah.
So I saw you have 191 referrals, and Arnie and me have 138 referrals, so we are eager to get two Roadsters, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm still waiting on a Powerwall from 2 years ago.
Me too.
You know, I had my jacket I got from the referral program. You know, that's about the amount of things I've actually received is very small. So the idea that we all will be getting Roadsters, I don't know, 3-5 years from now, maybe. You know, I would hope. You know, it's hard to say.
I put an email to Tesla referral program.
Yeah.
And I said, see what we have to do on our referrals. So are we illegal to get 2 Roadsters? And they said yes.
Amazing.
I have that on the email, so I don't know. I don't know if that works.
Yeah.
I'm happy with one. I'm happy with. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would actually. I've been trying to. So all of the additional referrals beyond the 2 Roadsters. I've been trying to ask them, what are we going to do with that? And that's a big question. They don't know either. I haven't got a solid answer. One idea I suggested, I'd be curious to know what your audience thinks, is how about, let's say you're going to buy a Model Y, or let's say you're going to buy the truck. Now, because Tesla doesn't have a lot of money, we're not going to just give you a discount, but maybe you can use 10 referrals to get it earlier. Or maybe you can use it on a different product to get it, you know, an extra warranty or some other benefit.
Color, maybe.
Yeah, so a special something or there. So, right, because it doesn't cost them any more money or very little money. Versus giving away, you know, a ton of other cars, which they don't have to do in their, you know, profitability. There's so many other things that they have to worry about. So I'm hoping that one of those ideas sticks. I'm hoping that.
So you think the same than I do? The referral program comes back.
Well, I hope so. I think they were. Well, I did videos on it, obviously, but I think that it was a mistake to include the Model 3. In the
big mistake.
That was the problem.
One referral was worth $5,000.
Right.
And this is way too much when you buy a Model 3.
Right. Even if you buy it in Europe, it's still the profit is very small.
Very small.
So it doesn't make sense at all, right?
No.
That was my first video on it. It was I don't think this makes sense.
I saw it.
You know, and you know, if you go rewind the clock to 2017. I believe it was, well, even before that, I think the referral program came out in 2015, and Bjorn from Norway, I think, was won 2 of the programs, but it was like one winner worldwide, first person, right? So if they had done the same thing on the Roadster program, if it was one per region, that would have worked.
Yeah.
Or don't include the Model 3 at all,
right?
And that still would have worked.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the margin, the profit on a Model S or X is just much higher.
Oh yes.
So you could afford to do it, you know, maybe cap it, you know, maybe 10 per region. But right now, the last time I looked at it, if anybody with a 50% discount or more is going to buy it, then they will owe 160 Roadsters to people.
Yes,
which is
160. That's what I said.
That's a lot.
Which is just absolutely crazy. That's insane. I mean, the amount of money doesn't matter. It's just these are the Founder Series Roadsters that are limited edition, 1,000 only. They said. Now, if they start building more than 1,000, everybody that bought it, the value of those cars drops.
Right.
So there's a real problem here.
I'm disappointed for them.
Yeah, exactly. I would be sad too. I'd say, hey, I put $250,000 down.
Yeah.
This is not a small amount of money for a car. No, this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
If I were one of those people,
yes,
I would be very upset that random YouTubers that just referred Model 3s get one for free when that's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done it better, and I hope they will learn from it. Maybe get some of these things delivered, get some of this referral program backlog cleared out, and then bring it back in a more sustainable way.
Right, I think that's what they would do.
Because it makes a lot of sense.
And we don't... Okay, Arnie has a question.
No, I think that the YouTuber are the best commercial Tesla can get because they put not any money in it. So this is all the program is working because there are some smart people say, hey, go and get it, drive it, do something with it. You will love it. So this is the best thing you can get, the best recommendation you can get.
Yeah, it's the best. That's what's also in your last video. It's the best and cheapest commercial what they can do.
Yeah.
Referral program.
Yeah, the data I looked at showed if they wanted to pay YouTubers to get all of this, I forget exactly what it was, like $80 million or something on the cheap end, and they paid roughly 32, maybe even 40 million tops for this program. So they got a good deal out of it. Now some people like myself and others, and you guys with your channel, make these videos anyways. So, but the thing that is surprising is when you see Casey Neistat, when you see Markiplier, when you see really big time YouTubers make these videos that maybe they wouldn't have made them otherwise. Right? And so that's where I think it's that extra. That referral program incentivized people with millions and millions of subscribers to make these videos. Where, so I think that is the real bonus to them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's half an hour. It's maybe enough for you. Getting too long and getting boring. This is Ben Sullins from Teslanomics. I hope you subscribe him because it's very interesting what he's doing. He's always on time. So if there's some news here in America, he knows it first and makes a video out of it. That's what I like on your channel. So just a question, did you ever meet Elon Musk?
No. We've been in the same room together, and I've shouted at him like a screaming little girl.
Yeah,
but,
I would do the same.
But we've not had a face-to-face conversation either. Yeah, no, not yet. One day.
Is it one of your wishes too? One of my biggest wishes is to talk to him 10 minutes.
I would like to have a meal or have a drink. Spend some real time. I'm much less interested in the Tesla or SpaceX or
his personality.
Yeah, I want to know what his life is like, because he has 5 boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's an American entrepreneur, but he's from South Africa. He had a very rough childhood. I am so much more interested in him, the person.
Yes. Me too.
Because Tesla and all this, the PR team will tell us the answers we want.
Right.
I'm not gonna
we know most of it.
You're right. I'm not gonna sneak a detail or secret from him in that conversation. I just am very interested to know more about him.
Right. Same with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, subscribe to Teslanomics and to T&T Tesla, it's me, and subscribe to me and my wife.
Hey!
So, okay, let's come on in the picture, Arnie, come on, let's go.
Okay.
We say goodbye. nice to meet you. That you give us the opportunity and the chance to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And I think we do now lunch or something. We have to eat something. I'm hungry. I'm looking hungry always.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You lose weight, yeah?
I lose weight. Yes, I always lose weight. Okay, nice to see you. Vielen Dank, dass ihr dabei wart. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Das war jetzt auf Englisch. Ich bin Owe von T&T Tesla. Das ist Ben Sullins von Teslanomics und das ist meine wunderschöne Frau Ani. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Ciao.